Minister of Labour, Social Security and Third Sector, the Honourable Colin Jordan, General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers, Mr. Richard Green, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Insurance and Social Security, Ms. Kim Tudor, management and staff of the NISS, specially invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. I say good evening. Good evening and welcome to the National Insurance and Social Security Service GEM Awards ceremony, celebrating the 57th year of the National Insurance Scheme and our first year as the National Insurance and Social Security Service. That is need for a round of applause, please. 57 years and 1 year. I'm Alison Herwood, your host for the evening. Just a year ago, on this exact date, we celebrated our milestone of transitioning to the National Insurance and Social Security Service. Time really flies. This evening's GEM Awards celebrates the people of the National Insurance and Social Security Service and recognizes the value of their hard work. As many of you know, the acronym GEM stands for Great Employees Matter. Ms. Kim Tudor is the Chief Executive Officer of the National Insurance and Social Security Service. I am delighted to invite Ms. Tudor to deliver the welcome and opening remarks. Just welcome Ms. Tudor, please.
Good evening, everyone. You look so lovely this evening. Not that you don't always look lovely, but I could hardly recognize some of you. You look so beautiful. So a hearty welcome to you. It is truly an honor and a joy to welcome all of you to the GEM Awards Ceremony 2024. Tonight, we come together to celebrate and reflect on a remarkable year in the journey of the National Insurance and Social Security Service. This is an evening about excellence, commitment, and most importantly, people, the incredible individuals that is yourselves, who form the heart and soul of this organization. Let me start by extending a warm and heartfelt welcome to everyone present. To our Minister, the Honourable Colin Jordan, thank you for your unwavering support, guidance, and the advocacy for our work at the NISS. It is always a privilege to have you with us, and we eagerly look forward to hearing your reflections and the vision for our future. Welcome to Mr. Richard Green, who is representing the board tonight. Thank you for your exceptional leadership, particularly as we navigated a year of significant transition and growth. I am reliably informed that the Most Honorable Ian Carrington will be joining us, and I would really like to welcome him. I'll welcome him when I see him, but I want to publicly welcome him. He holds a unique position, that of being the past director, a current board member, and the Director of Finance and Economic Affairs. So we have him all around us. And we're very fortunate to benefit from his wisdom and dedication. So we will be very happy to see him this evening when we do. To you, our hardworking management team and staff, what can I say? You are the engine that drives this organization forward. Your resilience, adaptability, and passion for service have been a cornerstone of every success we celebrate here tonight. To our special guests and media professionals, we're so pleased you're joining us to mark this momentous occasion. We are missing two key individuals this evening, but they remain a part of our celebration. Our chairman has sent his warm greetings and asked me to share his heartfelt congratulations with the awardees. He hopes that you have an enjoyable and inspiring evening. Our permanent secretary has also expressed her regrets, but she assures us she's with us in spirit, sharing our pride and joy for all that we have accomplished this year, and she sends her warm wishes. This evening is truly a celebration of milestones. Just 1 year ago, on December 1st, 2023, the NISSS embarked on a bold new chapter, transitioning into a commercial state-owned entity. This transformation represents a significant step forward in the evolution of Social Security in Barbados, ensuring that this critical institution remains dynamic, responsive, and prepared to meet the needs of our people in an ever-changing world. At 57 years this year, our national insurance scheme has grown alongside our nation, adapting and evolving to support a dynamic country and its proud, hardworking citizens. Since its establishment just 1 year after Barbados gained independence, the NIS has served as a cornerstone of social protection, safeguarding workers and their families, mitigating poverty, and championing social inclusion. This mission remains as vital today as it was all those decades ago, and it's because of your efforts, our remarkable team, that we continue to deliver on this promise. The GEMS Award, Great Employees Matter, reflect what we value most: the dedication, professionalism, and service excellence of our people. Tonight, we honor the individuals who embody these values and inspire us all to strive for greater heights. Each awardee represents the best of the NISSS, and I'm proud to celebrate your achievements. As we look back on this past year and forward to the future, let us remember that our work is about more than systems and services. It's about people. It's about improving the lives, fostering dignity, and ensuring that no one is left behind. Together, we will continue to build on our successes, meet new challenges with innovation and integrity, and serve the people of Barbados with compassion and excellence. Thank you all for being here this evening. Let us celebrate not only the achievements of this past year, but also the incredible potential of the years to come. Welcome to all of you. Enjoy the evening. And once again, congratulations to the awardees. Thank you.
Thank you, CEO. Our first presentation or entertainment will be done by the Barbadian Urban Dance Crew. This is a group of young, fun individuals with a passion for dance and a love for the stage. They came together in 2013 with a goal to win the hearts of those at home and to represent Barbados locally, regionally, and internationally. Their name defines them as they seek to deliver diversity in all their performances. They are the 2018 Community Dance Fest champions and World of Dance Trinbago finalists, multiple NIFCA awardees, copying 2 gold awards in 2018, as well as the prestigious Madam Eiffel Award of Excellence and the Prime Minister's Scholarship, just to name a few. In 2023, they were nominated for a National Youth Award for their work in dance and community development. They have performed on many stages, such as Carifesta 13 and Soca Royale, and with many local, regional, and international artists, such as Raja Wild, Ryan Future Webb, Aisha Upchurch, Gauzy, Lil Rake, and many, many others. In NIFCA 2024, they have received the only adult gold award, as well as the Madam Eiffel Award of Excellence, the Prime Minister's Award for Original Dance Entry, among other prestigious awards. Tonight, they are portraying characters from the Victorian era and are doing something different to their norm. with some help from their friends in the ballroom fraternity from Mark Burgess Dance Academy, formerly known as ACE Dance Center, and Jabulani Ballroom Dance Club. Ladies and gentlemen, the Urban Dance crew will now render a dance for your viewing pleasure. Would you care for a stroll? Bridgerton-inspired waltz. Put your hands together and welcome the Urban Dance crew. Thank you, dancers. The Honorable Colin Jordan is the Minister of Labor, Social Security, and Third Sector. I would now like to take this opportunity to invite Minister Jordan to deliver the keynote address.
Mr. Richard Green, General Secretary of the National Union of Public Workers and a member of the Board of the National Insurance and Social Security Service, Ms. Kim Truder, Chief Executive Officer of the National Insurance and Social Security Service, members of senior management, members of staff, good evening to all of you. Good evening to all of you. Thank you very much. I keep saying that when I say good evening, it is not because it is written in a speech, but it's because I want to say good evening to you. I'm happy to be able to join you this evening on this occasion. I confess that when I walked in and saw all of you, I told the CEO I have to go back home and dress properly. Because, I feel, I am being bluntly honest, I feel very underdressed. But you do look lovely. Lovely. Really, really lovely. The ladies look lovely, and there are some gentlemen who I've asked them to convey to their wives or significant others my similar sentiments, to thank those who dressed them for dressing them very well. I see one on my left, and I'm not sure where Mr. Lowe is, where I think I can see him too. When you see them, you know that somebody else had a hand in how they appear. But we have to give them credit. Models don't make the clothes that they wear. Once you carry it well, then you get some of the credit. But today we celebrate a really remarkable achievement. 1 year, and I agree with Alison that it doesn't feel like a whole year. Well, maybe for those of you in the trenches, it probably feels like more than a year. But I think that year has gone by very quickly. And I first want to reflect on Friday, 1st of December, 2023. I was at the Frank Walcott building, and we had, you would remember, that first staff meeting as a National Insurance and Social Security Service, and then we had the awards downstairs. I felt, like I do now, very, very happy about the mood in the room, the mood in the building. I felt as though we were all happy about the progress that we were making as an organization. And I feel that same way 1 year later, exactly 1 year later this evening. And I am happy that you have consented to go on this journey with us and with each other. I've said to the CEO, and I've said to the chairman, and the chairman was not chair on December 1st, 2023, but I've said to both of them that it is my intention, and I think I said this before in your presence, I'm going to say it again because I will not tire of saying it. It is my intention that after, well, I don't know how, I don't serve at my own pleasure, but that as long as I'm around, that all of you, as time passes, feel that the decision you made last year was the right decision. I've shared with you that I understand to some degree, because you can never understand fully unless you are actually in this situation, but I understand to some degree the fear, trepidation, uncertainty that many, if not all of you, felt in 2023. And I've said to you before, that fear, that trepidation is understandable. We are not machines. We are human beings. And maybe if I say human beings again, it may happen again. But that is part of the celebration. I'm not sure they had those in the 1800s, though. But I assure you that we recognize what you would have been feeling to some degree, understood to some degree what you've been feeling, and it is our intention to make sure that the National Insurance and Social Security Service is a place to work, an institution to belong to, an institution that you'll be happy to continue to be a part of. This evening, I also am happy to recognize those who are being awarded for exemplary service, for long service, and long service representing a commitment to the organization. But not just a commitment to the organization, but a commitment to serving your fellow Barbadians. When the leadership and some of you insisted that you did not want to be referred to as something authority or something else, but that you wanted to be referred to as a service, we accepted that, recognizing that at the core of what you do is serving Barbadians. And you are Barbadians. You have cousins, brothers, parents, children. All of us know how Bajans are. So sometimes you're doing your best, but your best not good enough. And many of you are on the front line. So you take a lot of abuse sometimes, but I applaud you for staying the course and recognizing that sometimes you have to, Rev, we used to say long ago, sometimes you have to hold the light for the devil to see. And that is what an organization like the National Insurance and Social Security Service often has to do. But you continue to recognize that what you are providing in this country is a service. You're also providing a sense of security for many. Persons who are ill and may not be getting their regular income, but they still have to eat. They got to pay the doctor. They got to buy medication. You're providing a service for those who may have been injured on the job. You're providing a service for those who are reproducing, not at the rate necessarily that would keep the National Insurance Fund going well, but you're providing a service to those persons. You're also providing a service to those who have contributed over time and are now in maybe the evening, as we say, of their years, and maybe a little bit unsure of what the future holds, but you are able to represent that institution that provides pension, old age pension, for many in our society. And so the National Insurance and Social Security Service is that organization which represents an important part of social protection in this country. The National Insurance Fund and the other funds managed in this organization, your organization, our organization, is not the only social protection entity, but it is a major entity in the social protection space. So you assist people through their entire life cycle, from child support, maternity support, to pensions, old age pensions, and ultimately to death benefits. And we applaud you for ensuring that those who have challenges, those who feel insecure, can be put at ease knowing that they have some kind of income coming. And that is, we do not trivialize your commitment. Because even while you yourselves, many of you, didn't feel too comfortable about what the future held. So there was some level of insecurity on your part. But even while you were feeling a little bit insecure, you were also, at the same time, providing that feeling of security for so many other Barbadians. I applaud you this evening for that. Now, during the year, the NIS has had a number of achievements, many achievements. I want to share 4 of them with you. The transition itself was a significant achievement. I'm repeating, but I think I need to. I've been associated with the National Insurance Board, and so the organization, since, I don't know, maybe 2012, 2013, somewhere around there, and had become pretty familiar with the organization, particularly with the leadership of the organization and the structure of the organization. And that is why when we set about to reposition the organization, that I did it because I was convinced that it needed to be done and not because a prime minister had told me to do it. I had been part of the organization. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure where Betty Ann is, but Betty Ann could testify that, and Alison as well, actually. While I was on the board, and the first year we were in office, even though I was not your minister, I've been attending all of your celebrations. I remember those at George Washington House. I didn't know that you could go up on top the Baobab Towers until there was one of these celebrations up there. I attended one at the Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center. So I've always felt a part of the organization. And that transition, I'm sure, as time progresses, we will recognize the wisdom and the value in that transition. So that is one of the achievements that we've had. We've also, and this is very important as well, we have taken a lot of licks. When I say we, I'm talking about the National Insurance Board and the National Insurance Department. Have taken a lot of licks over the years with respect to financial statements and audits. Now, people who are thinking about the future and their pensions get a little scared when they hear that financial statements haven't been prepared for X number of years, or that audits haven't been done for X number of years. And I'm happy that we've been able to catch up with our financial statements. And I think we ought to applaud those who lead and work in the accounting or finance department for that achievement. Thank you all very much for taking us to this point. That will help you because it stops, you know how ministers could be sometimes. It stops ministers from getting on your back, but it also stops the public, and it reinforces that level of trust that the public really wants to have in its pension scheme, particularly its pension scheme. We've also introduced a new regime, we call it, for dealing with self-employed persons, and I think that was a significant achievement. Working like I did in the hotel sector, tourism sector, I knew the difficulties that many self-employed persons, particularly taxi drivers, taxi operators, had dealing with the system as it was then set up. And the reform that we've made in that system has been a transformational one. We now have to continue the work of making sure that the public buys in and so become participant in that system. And then we took over the administration of the pension scheme of the entire government. That was also an achievement, and it went pretty smoothly. We had a few hiccups, but that is to be expected with every major change. We were able to administer, so we are now responsible. We are not paying those pensions out of National Insurance Fund. Those are paid by government, but we administer so that we use the expertise we have in terms of distributing those pensions to the recipients. I think I said 4, but the 5th, so there are 5 that I want to mention. The 5th one speaks to the matter of continuing our work of making or allowing people living with disabilities to feel fully a part of the society as they ought to, and facilitating them by making sure that they're able to look after themselves and that caregivers are able to look after them in a way that adds value to their lives. And so the matter of the new non-contributory pensions for people living with disabilities has been a major achievement. Those of us who do not have significant disabilities do not always understand, but I know that some of us have relatives or close friends with disabilities and recognize the challenges that many of them have. They need the support of a caring nation, and the National Insurance and Social Security Service is part of that caring nation structure. And so I am happy that we were able to have those achievements. As we move forward, we need to do so recognizing our responsibility to each other, recognizing our responsibility to the organization of which we are a part, and above all, recognizing our responsibility to Barbadians generally. At some point, we are going to be on the receiving end. At some point. Many of you, I think I may have shared this with some of you before, but many of you may not know, but I, the current minister, have been to the E. Humphrey Walcott building and stood up in a line and gone to an officer to register for unemployment benefits. So I know how it is to stand up in a line outside, well, this was before COVID, but outside and then getting in and, hoping that, and there are a lot of feelings that happen when you're in those situations. But all of us at some point, if we live long enough, will be on the receiving end in terms of receiving a pension. Let's continue to treat people the way that we would want others to treat us when we get to that stage. I encourage you, therefore, to remain empathetic, continue to give your ideas as to how the service you deliver can be done more effectively. Government is in the process of deconstructing and reconstructing. And when I say government is in the process, there is no person called the government. Government is an amalgam of people. The process of deconstructing and reconstructing means all of you, all of us, looking hard at what we are doing, recognizing the things that causes us grief, that cause our clients grief, understanding what could be done to improve the process, and making representation to your leaders where that is concerned. I'm going to say something that you're not supposed to say in government. If you give good suggestions to your leaders and you feel that you're not being heard or listened to, find my office. I know you're not supposed to say that, but I'm not going to be minister and allow people to suffer. I don't think that the leadership in the National Insurance and Social Security Service will necessarily do that. But I'm saying to you that we take so seriously this matter of deconstructing, effectively deconstructing and reconstructing, that wherever you have to go to, if you feel that the minister is not listening, try to get hold of the Prime Minister. We take it that seriously. We want to improve your lives. We want to improve the lives of all the people that you serve. The outreach has to continue. The matter of compliance has to be on the front burner. Those of you who followed the town hall meetings during 2022 and 2023, I think, around that time, would remember that many in the public talked about compliance. People said if we were well, some of you actually did as well. If we were collecting all the money, then we wouldn't have issues. We have to make sure that compliance is effective. And so that is an area that we have to deal with. Now, I've been talking too long, I know, and I'm happy that the light is dim so that I can see it reflected on your face. That is really good. So I have not been put off. Maybe if the light was on, I would have seen it earlier and have gotten off the stage. But just let me commend all of you for the good work. I could see Mr. Lowe's face, but I didn't see the feeling that I should have moved off the stage from his face. But just let me congratulate all of you for the good work you're doing. I'm happy to be your minister. I'll continue to defend you and the organization wherever I have to. I will continue to be responsive as our finances will allow us to. I know that the CEO has been encouraging departments to get together to bond. You spend 7, 8, 9, 10 hours sometimes in a workspace. All of that shouldn't be grind. You need to find time and space to just relax like you're doing now. And I know that the CEO has been encouraging departments to do that. And as minister, I have been fully supportive of that effort. And I encourage you to stay involved in those efforts, but also to encourage, I know that there's some in the organization who maybe culture, maybe past not so good experiences are not yet there. But I want you to encourage the others to get involved so that we can consider ourselves truly a family. Congratulations again to the awardees. Hearty appreciation to all of you. Enjoy the remainder of your evening.
Thank you, Minister Jordan. Now on to our GEM Awards ceremony. We begin with our Emerald Awards for long service. Let's invite Mr. Derek Lowe, Senior Manager, Customer Relations of the NISS, to present the 10 and 15-year awards. For 10 years of service, Miss Kathy Ann Waldron. And Mrs. Miranda Lambert. "15 years of service, Miss Renee Waterman. Mrs. Shelly Ann Boyce. Miss Shari Padmore. Mr. Junior Brown. Miss Kathy Jones. And Mr. Hugh Cummings. Thank you, Mr. Lowe. Adrian Green is a performer who reads in English, thinks in Bajan, and talks in Big Rock lyrics. He has won more awards than he can remember and has traveled the Caribbean to Africa, Europe, and the US to bless audiences with a bit of Bajan flavor, accent, and common sense. Ladies and gentlemen, Adrian Green will now render a special piece.
Hello. Good evening, everybody. Don't feel that because when I dress up pretty like Bridgerton, when I go, I'll be all stush, I'm British. Good evening, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here this evening to celebrate you because you're up on the front lines of Barbados' transformation. And I got a confession to make. When they told me that the theme for the evening was Bridgerton, my first response was, well, what the hell are you gonna do that got anything to do with Bridgerton? I ain't got nothing that matches with Bridgerton. But I did some research. And I'm a man of faith. I took my time, meditated on it, and waited for the Lord to give me an answer. And the answer came. I can make it make sense for those people who feel it don't make sense. Whoever idea Bridgerton was, it was brilliant. Here's why. Bridgerton is a fantasy series that takes place in the 1800s when King George III was ruling England. And it imagines that King George's wife, Charlotte, was of African heritage, and because of that, African people in his court were, to an extent, emancipated. That is the fantasy that Bridgerton presents to us. Now, I don't know if you know what was happening in Barbados in the 1800s. In Barbados in the 1800s, in 1816, a group of African descendants, Bajans, had what many people thought was a fantasy. And that fantasy was that they could be free. Bussa, Nanny Grigg, Jackie, and a whole bunch of Bajans in 1816, the same time that Bridgerton takes place, had the audacity to believe that they could free themselves and the rest of black Barbadians. In other words, they had the faith that they could institute a transition in Barbados to something better. Whoever thought of Bridgerton had the audacity to imagine a past where things were different, and therefore they could imagine a future where things are different. And I gotta tell it to you, right? A lot of people don't know that when Bussa and them staged rebellion, only about a third of enslaved Barbadians at the time took part. A lot of Barbadians at the time decided, nah, not me and that, could never happen. I'm staying out of it. But they went forward still. And it's because they went forward and they had the audacity to believe that Barbados could transition, that Barbados could transform, that we could sit here today freely and dress up pretty like how we want to dress up. 1816. And even those who did not believe benefited from it. I don't know if you know, but the Rock Hall Free Village, the first black free village in Barbados, was populated by enslaved Africans from the Mount Wilton plantation. And they were gifted their freedom because when the Bussa Rebellion pop off, and Bussa and them say, come and join us, they said, no, not we and that. We ain't involved, we ain't transitioning. And as a reward for their not taking part in the rebellion, their slave owner on Mount Wilton plantation decreed in his will that when he died, all of the enslaved Africans on his plantation would be set free. After he put that in his will and told them about it, about 3 months later, he died under mysterious circumstances. They tell you Bajans docile, right? But Bajans ain't docile. We just pick our battles and we move smart. And throughout Barbados' history, we have had the audacity to believe that we could transform things. We could make things better. Don't care how bad it is. We in it for the long haul. So the message that I want to bring to you this evening, whether in your capacity as an employee of the NISSSSSS, how many S's it is? 3 S's? NISSS. Whether it is in your personal lives, you have what it takes. You have what it takes to pull your foot off of the brakes of your life and accelerate towards the destiny that is your final destination. And anything less would be a total desecration of the sacred temple that you are, because you are blessed with visions only you can see. You've been given dreams that only you can make a reality. And to rob the world, to rob Barbados of your greatness would be a tragedy, because you have what it takes. You have what it takes to take those dreams from the back of your mind to right in front of your eyelids or anywhere you want it. Flaunt it. Your greatness is not to be kept secret. It ain't like the good cutlery that only special guests does get to peek it. Seek it. And when you find it, shine it like a star. A light to guide others like you, lost stars, to their rightful place in the sky. How high you want to travel? That's a real question. How high you want to travel? Because we can hover light years above the earth's surface, or we can roll up in the gravel. Because we dig our own graves and we build our own castles. So let me know if to hand you at the NISSSSS some cement blocks or a shovel. One time I do this piece in a primary school. And a little girl said, Mr. Green, hand me a space shuttle. Hand me a space shuttle, because I plan to build a mansion on the moon. I don't cool out. I looked her in her eye and I said, little girl, you have what it takes to get that high? Or you just a hot air balloon? But when I looked into her eyes, right, I saw it. I said, nah, you have what it takes. You have what it takes to shake off the shackles of fear off of your shoulders, ankles, and wrists, and dive into the abyss of perils and risk, making mistakes and missteps, but still your fist in victory. Confidence is not arrogance, and though life is full of mystery, we should never be mystified. In the court of history, our ancestors have already testified that we have what it takes. By their very survival when death would have been an easy escape, your ancestors expressed their faith that you, their descendants, would one day wake and take your rightful place in this race. Firm and forceful, but full of grace. Through your tongues, your ancestors taste success. And through their sacrifices, we are blessed. So nothing less than your best is required. It's time to get fired up and quake all those who would underrate you, so they will never again have the audacity to ask you if you have what it takes. Because it would be obvious for everybody to see that you have what it takes. God bless the NISSSSSSSS.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Wonderful as usual. I would now like to invite Miss Frances Walcott, Deputy Chief Executive Officer, Operations, to present the 20 and 25-year awards. 20 years of service. Miss Frederica Lynch. Congrats, Freddie. Mr. Trevor Gibbs. And Miss Sophia Mings Maskell. 20 years of service. 25 years of service, Miss Beverly Brathwaite. Miss Alethea Thomas. And Miss Stellene Ford. Miss Nello Benskin. I would now like to invite Miss Kim Tudor to present the 30 and 35-year awards. 30 years of service, Miss Carolyn Bess. Mr. Derek Lowe, Senior Manager, Customer Relations, will receive Ms. Bess' award on her behalf. And 35 years goes to Valmay Walks and Janice Agard. "35 years of service to the National Insurance and Social Security." We're going to have the CEO's Appreciation Award. The Chief Executive Officer's Appreciation Award will be given this evening based on the recognition of 4 employees for their outstanding performance and dedication. During the transition from the National Insurance Department to the National Insurance and Social Security Service, these officers went above and beyond their assigned duties and fought and overcame all obstacles in efforts to meet the December 1st deadline. The CEO would like to recognize Tamikia Skeet, Betty Ann Callender, Joel St. John, and David Archer. Please welcome them to the stage. Thank you, CEO. The Urban Dance Crew will give us another rendition, the Bridgerton Tango. Put your hands together and let's welcome the Urban Dance Crew again. Thank you, dancers. That choreography was indeed beautiful. Give them another round of applause, please. We continue with our GEM Awards, Customer Service Excellence, Special Contribution Award, House of the Year Award, Unit Team of the Year Award, Supervisor of the Year, and Employee of the Year Award. I would like to invite to the stage Minister Jordan to present these awards. The Customer Service Excellence Award. This employee has been with the section since its inception in May 2017. Despite her quiet and reserved manner, she is exemplary in her dedication to customer service. She has an in-depth knowledge of the benefits rules, policies, and procedures, along with a wealth of knowledge in many other areas of the NIS. Consequently, she is able to give thorough and accurate information to customers. In her role, she is responsible for updating claimants' records with direct deposit forms and has an extensive understanding of the financial institutions in our database. I believe if you wake her from her sleep and ask her about anyone, she can give you the correct information. She is an avid troubleshooter and problem solver, taking every possible action to resolve matters related to benefit and pension payments to financial institutions. On a daily basis, she makes calls both internally and externally to investigate and resolve issues involving funds sent to incorrect accounts or checks to incorrect addresses. She interacts in a professional manner with all customers and displays excellent interpersonal and communication skills. She meticulously troubleshoots, resolving issues within her authorization and escalating any problems to the relevant authority for resolution. This officer goes beyond her call of duty to ensure that we achieve our vision to be a caring, efficient, and reliable social security provider for all customers. Another assigned duty is the approval of short-term benefit claims. During March 2023, this employee processed 92 direct deposit forms and resolved a high volume of matters relating to funds sent to the incorrect accounts or addresses. The winner of the Customer Excellence Award is Miss Jacqueline Boyne. However, Mr. Derek Lowe, Senior Manager, Customer Relations, will be receiving this award on Miss Boyne's behalf. Or Kevin, Reverend Harris will be doing it. Thank you, Reverend Harris. We're going to have the Special Contribution Award. In March 2023, the department received word that some 2,024 contracted officers from the ASH Worker Program will conclude on March 31st, 2023. Meetings were held to ensure that these individuals received optimal customer service during their office visits. Despite not being assigned to the unemployment section, this officer, equipped with key understanding of the unemployment process, played a vital role in ensuring the room was organized, the necessary equipment was set up, and that the relevant staff were supervised to register, conduct renewals, and log claims. As a knowledgeable senior officer, she set aside her portfolio to ensure that the customers were dealt with professionally from 7:30 a.m. sharp for each registration and declaration for the period April 3rd, 2023 to April 25th, 2023. At the end of the registration week, the department recorded 1,853 ASH workers. This officer reviewed the termination certificates and recommended that each officer be assigned a spreadsheet to capture missing contributions. At the end of that exercise, she personally took responsibility for an employer and communicated with their human resources section to acquire any missing contributions. She demonstrated her dedication to the success of this exercise by ensuring that the remaining termination certificates were filed according to the particular challenge and provided solutions to reduce the outstanding claims. Knowing that all eyes were on the organization to see how the process would be managed, this officer also found time, to process 131 of these claims. The Special Contribution Award goes to Mrs. Lisa Wood. Mrs. Lisa Wood's outstanding contribution to the benefits section merits her Special Contribution Award for 2023. House of the Year Award. The NISSS held its Family Fun Day and Sports Day on June 22nd, 2024 at Green Acres, the Bell St. Michael, as part of their week of activities. The Sports Day comprises of 4 teams: Orange Tigers, Pink Pirates, Bumblebee Warriors, and Green Hornets. The events comprised of 3-leg lime and spoon race, balloon pop, 60 meters dash, and get ready for work, just to name a few. After a nail-biting finish between the Bumblebee Warriors and the Pink Pirates became 2024 winners for NISSS Sports Day. House of the Year Award goes to, we all know, Tamika Skeet. I was there and I saw it. House Captain. Oh yeah. Supervisor of the Year. 2 persons have been nominated for this award. The first nominee is Mr. Nigel Morris. 3 features that stand out when describing Nigel: hard work, a willingness to serve customers, and professionalism. The officer begins the day early by referring to his notes to provide responses to outstanding queries. This officer rarely leaves his desk, but when he does, it is only to venture into the benefits section to collaborate with other officers in solving a matter. Many days he does not take his full lunch hour, often prompting supervisors to inquire whether he had taken lunch. His reply would usually be, "I'm fine." This particular officer's vast experience and knowledge base provides him with the skills to perform analysis and to troubleshoot problem claims. As an Insurance Officer 3, he supervises a team of Insurance Officers 4, assisting them with specific knowledge and calculation of claims. Since customer relations environments can be challenging at times, the officer has on many occasions helped to de-escalate the emotions of irate customers. During the month of April, this supervisor completed a total of 1,152 claims and activities. That is Nigel Morris. The second nominee, Nicholas Reed. This officer is one of the first persons to arrive in the office and is always readily available to assist. On a daily basis, he liaises with both internal and external customers. He embodies attributes of a team player and mentor to those he supervises. From January to March 2023, the section functioned without an assigned insurance officer too. Nevertheless, this officer took on additional duties of the insurance officer too, along with his own responsibilities. These tasks included updating of over 300 files, which involved entering payments totaling $2,302,706.06 and preparing 300 clearances for the period. Throughout this time, he never complained that his workload had significantly increased, but continued to ably juggle his tasks. He not only assumed these additional duties, but also worked extended hours to ensure their completion. I would like to say congratulations to both Mr. Nigel Morris and Nicholas Reed. And the winner of the Supervisor of the Year award is Mr. Nicholas Reed. Mr. Reed is not here, so Miss Sophia Mings-Maskell will be accepting this award on Mr. Reed's behalf. The Onyx Award for Unit Team of the Year. 2 sections have been nominated for this award. The first nominee for Unit Team of the Year is the registration section. A new year and a new month usually is the period for customers to start the ball rolling with getting things done. Throughout this month, the section was hampered with not having pre-stamped national insurance cards for the customers for a period of time, and the staff had to manually stamp the cards. For the month of January, the section dealt with a total of 1,237 members of public. This comprised of 590 walk-ins for individual long-term applications, 85 long-term claims received via the mail, 33 employer registrations, 444 applications for national insurance numbers, and 85 self-employed registrations. This section at all times performed their duties efficiently and effectively without any complaints. The members of the section are Cliff Ford, Supervisor, Natasha Walton, Tracia Griffith, Scott Farnham, and Keanu Collymore. Give them a round of applause, please, for being a nominee. The second nominee for Unit Team of the Year is the Employment Section. By March 2023, more than 2,000 employees from the Ministry of Public Works and Transport, the National Housing Corporation, and the Ministry of Health and Wellness were retrenched. This meant that these affected persons would have been issued with termination certificates and would have made their way to the NISS to begin the process of unemployment benefits. The team involved reacted by undertaking an initiative to streamline the process to accommodate these affected persons. As such, a work setup was placed on the outside of the section to ensure the accuracy of the information on each termination certificate. For example, some officers revised the addresses or information while others logged the claims for processing. The assembly line worked well, with the average time being spent on each customer at 4 minutes. Other members of the team also engaged the customers, explaining to them the features of unemployment and provided responses to any queries. It must be noted that there is no automatic process and everything is done manually. Hence the reason it is very tedious and time-consuming. Several officers forfeited their lunch hours because of the large volume of persons who were consistently visiting the office. Nevertheless, by end of day, the team ensured that all claims were logged. To present the Unit Team of the Year and Employee of the Year, we have Minister Colin Jordan, The winner of the Unit Team of the Year is the Unemployment Section. Let us welcome the Unemployment Section for the Team of the Year for 2023, Avril Harrison, Nigel Morris, Kerry-Ann Aline, Alex Belgrave, Rashawn Barrow, Corrine Lewis, Nicolette Lynch, Jennifer Whitney Nelson, and Claudette Moore. Congratulations on receiving the Unit Team of the Year award. The final award is being presented to the Employee of the Year. There are 2 persons who were nominated in this category. The first nominee, Natalie Beckles. This officer is always punctual and is one of the first to report for work in her section. Her duties include managing the administrative list, auditing long-term claims to ensure that all pensioners are paid the correct sums every 4 weeks. However, this simulation process is no easy task, as she works within a limited time frame while also processing daily queries from the customer service section. During the pension period from May 8th to June 4th, 2023, the process was challenging since other team members were on leave. Without any complaint, this officer prioritized her time and consistently audited the following claimants and payment methods: old age contributory 570, survivors 118, invalidity 111, credit union 152, lodgements 376, admin payments 526. Ladies and gentlemen, that is Natalie Beckles for you. Very good work. The second nominee, Vanessa Brewster. Words such as team player, accuracy, and efficiency describe this officer's overall job performance. The officer takes the steps to processing a claim very seriously and thoroughly assesses the attachment of the claims, a crucial aspect of her role. She verifies all the relevant earnings and correct credit values on the system to ensure their accuracy. When information is missing or incorrect, she follows through by preparing compliance memos and enlists the services of tech support. To gather additional information, this officer does not hesitate to seek assistance from her supervisors in unfamiliar or complex matters to ensure job completion. All necessary correspondence, including call slips, are sent out to the BPs, and disallowance letters are prepared and passed on for signing. Her hard work was shown as she processed 521 claims during the month of March 2023. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for both nominees, Ms. Natalie Beckles and Ms. Vanessa Brewster. The Employee of the Year is Ms. Natalie Beckles from the Benefits section. Please welcome Alethea Thomas to accept this award on behalf of Natalie. And congratulations to all of you who received awards this evening. We are going to have our door prize now. I hope everyone, you have your ticket. Ticket number 58. Congrats to Miss Betty Callender. Ticket number 58. And after dressing up this evening, And some of us, we're not usually wearing fascinators and etc. in our gloves. We're going to have the best dressed male and female. The best dressed male and female will receive lunch for two at Radisson. So the judges nominated Wayne Giles, Giles, Javed Bovell, Hugh Cummings, Natario Corbin, and Shermal Trotman. And honestly, they all look wonderful. Let me see. And the winner for the male, Hugh Cummings. Now it's for the females. We have Shamika Gill, is that correct? Shamika Gill, Joel St. John, Nicole Hall, Carol Hall, Nikita Lane. I can put in my name, Alison Herwood. And the winner for the best dressed female from the judges, Nikita Lane. She looks fabulous. Our final item of the evening is the vote of thanks, and to do so is Mrs. Joel St. John, our principal legal officer. Please welcome warmly. We're at the end.
Protocol having been established, good evening all. It is my privilege to bring tonight's vote of thanks. We have celebrated 57th year of the National Insurance Scheme and the first year of the NISSS in fine style. I would extend my congratulations to all the awardees tonight and all those who work to ensure that the National Insurance and Social Security Service continues to function at a high level. You are truly a credit to your nation. Reverend Harris, we thank you for invoking God's presence on this evening's ceremony and on the National Security Service as we move forward and continue to serve. Thank you, Reverend Harris. To Your Excellency, the Right Honorable Mia Moore-Motley, QC, Prime Minister of Barbados, we thank you for the use of the grounds of Ilara Court. To our Chief Executive Officer, Ms. Kim Tudor, we thank you for your warm welcome and your opening remarks, and for having the vision to celebrate this occasion of our first anniversary in this delightful manner. Honorable Colin Jordan, Minister of Labor, Social Security and the Third Sector, we thank you for being our keynote speaker. And we certainly enjoyed your talk with us this evening. As we continue to move forward, we will continue to treat others as we would like to be treated. Minister Jordan, thank you so very much. I extend also a warm thanks to our Mistress of Ceremonies, Alison Herwood, for so ably taking us through tonight's proceedings. To our entertainers who performed tonight, the members of the Urban Dance Crew, the rhythm poet, Mr. Adrian Green, we thank you for your amazing performances, and we did enjoy them. What you see here tonight is the end product of something which takes a lot of time, thought, planning, energy, and talent. I would like to thank all those who provided the logistics and technical support for this event. Please know your efforts are greatly appreciated, and from the bottom of our hearts, we say thank you. The Lloyd Erskine Sandyford Center, BestFX Evening Planning, Delta Visual Median, team of SS Video Pro, thank you so much. To all the presenters of the NIS team who worked hard to ensure that this event was successful, we truly appreciate all you do. And of course, to all of you for coming tonight, we thank you for making tonight's event a success. Have a wonderful evening.